Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to show you how to do these light rays. A lot of people have asked, how on earth do you get that to happen on the page? I've got a couple pages here that I've done that have actual light rays coming from these cool little suns that are on these pictures, and today I'm going to show you how to do it. It's really not as hard as it might look, so we're going to walk through it step by step, and you're going to be a pro at making all of your suns look like they are exploding light onto your page. So first I'm going to set this book aside and let's move this over here, and let's get the page that we're going to work on. So you can see this is an uncolored version. Hold on one sec. There we go. Now you can see a little bit better. So this is an uncolored version of this page, and we're going to create this little sun and the light rays effect coming from the cloud. So let me just set that aside. And the first thing you want to do when you're working with anything that's going to involve light rays on your page is to make sure that everything is finished first. So light rays would be your last step. So if you look at the example again, you can see there's actually a lot of stuff happening on this page. There's marker, we've got both alcohol marker, we've got water-based marker, there's pencil crayon, we've got jelly rolls, there's acrylic paint pens. There's a lot happening on this page. All of that would be completed before I would start doing this sun. Something that you might find helpful is to make a photocopy of your page before you start working on anything like this that has acrylic paint involved with it, because this would be your last step, and you've at this point probably spent hours getting your page really nice just the way you want it. So make a photocopy and then practice all of your sun stuff that you want to do. That's exactly what this is. This is actual acrylic paint on top of this. And I wanted to practice to see, okay, where did I want my lines to go? How thick do I want them to be? How far down on the grassy knoll do I want them to land? So by doing it on this photocopy, I don't actually ruin the original. And then by the time I get to working on the original, it can just be exactly what I want it to be. So you can see there's definitely differences between the practice and what it ended up being on the final. And it's much improved too. The way the sun was done here just doesn't look as good as the sun here. Obviously the paper is a little bit different, and in a photocopier you can see the coloring isn't the same, but really it doesn't have to be exact. It's just sort of to get a feel for how to do these kinds of effects without ruining your original until you're ready to actually work on your original page. So hopefully that is a helpful little pro tip. So now what I want to do is get my tools ready. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to use to make this happen. So the first thing is I have this acrylic paint marker. It's from Artistro. I will say I am looking for another brand. Sorry, Artistro. I loved your packaging. It was super beautiful and made me feel very artsy when it arrived. So A+ on your packaging. And the concept behind these pens are amazing. Like the dot tip and the fine tip, like really awesome. But I will say they dried up too fast. So if they put a little more ink into them, I feel like then I could give it 5 stars, but it didn't quite last as long as I felt it should for the $5 that I paid for it. So I kind of feel like if they put more marker or more ink in there, it would be a lot better. But these are acrylic paint markers, and the reason why I'm using them, you're probably like, well, Tanya, if you didn't like it, why are you showing this in the video? 1, I don't have a replacement, and 2, well, not yet. I have some things on order, but they're not here yet. So the other reason why I'm using this is because I don't want to mislead you and say you can get these amazing effects and then not actually show you the actual tools that I used. So these are the actual tools I used to create this sunburst. And so if you get the exact same ones, or maybe different brand but also has a fine tip, because we're not going to actually use the dot, so just get a fine tip white acrylic paint marker that is opaque white. You don't want anything sheer or shiny or thin. Then you'll get the same effect. So I'm going to use the same tools that I used originally to just show how it works. So the other thing I am going to use is a jelly roll, Sakura jelly roll. It's a bold 10. Make sure you don't use anything but the bold 10, because the 8, I think it's 0.8 or 0.5. Anyways, the 8 and the 5 are just too thin, and the ink will get clogged, and it's not going to cover enough surface area like you want. And then the other thing I'm going to use is, you can't read it. I don't know why they put white font on yellow, but This is also a Jelly Roll Sakura pen, and it's a bold 10, but it's in the Moonlight collection. Moonlight offers a bunch of pastels, and their yellow pastel has been really helpful in getting that effect. And then the last thing I'm going to use is this Shuttleart acrylic marker in yellow. Again, this is acrylic paint. So we've got two acrylic paints. We've got the Artistro and we have the Shuttleart. And Shuttleart makes a whole bunch of different paint markers. These are called automatic ink and they're brush tip. And I highly, highly recommend them. They have been phenomenal, super juicy, have not dried out. They're so easy to work. You don't have to like pump it to make the ink come out. So they're just really easy to work with and they do a really great job. So that's what we're going to use to add some more stuff to our sun. So the first thing is to take our Artistro in the fine tip and we're going to start covering over this black line. Now one of these is kind of dead. This might be it. The other one still has a little bit of ink in it. So I wasn't sure which. I really should have labeled it, but I'm gonna grab the other one because I think this one's mostly dead. Some markers, that's all you're gonna get out of them, and that's just a shame because that's not worth your money. So make sure that you get one that has white ink that really covers over well. Okay, so this one's a little bit better, but even this one you can tell like the ink just isn't as opaque enough. So it's just not gonna cover as much as you want, and you're gonna have to wait until it dries and then do another layer, wait until it dries and do another layer. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm also going to jump ahead and just start filling in this, because this is all gonna have to get covered anyways, because we don't want these lines to show, because it's gonna take away from our beautiful sunburst effect. And that's not what we want. Okay, and then once it's dried a little bit, go back over it again. Okay, so next I'm going to take my Jelly Roll 10, my bold 10, and I'm going to start using that to help. Okay, and then we're going to take this Artistro again, and we're going to start just drawing some white lines inside the sun. And you can see it's already starting to make the sun look a little more glowy, which is exactly what we want. But I'm not coloring the whole thing in because I think texture is underrated in the world of coloring, and sometimes you can get the most incredible effects just by allowing texture to happen in the right places. So with this sun, we're getting a lot of texture. Some of the underneath color is coming through, and that is exactly what we want. So now I'm going to use this Shuttleart acrylic marker. This is just their kind of a creamy yellow. And with these, all you do is just shake them a little bit and you're done. Like that was what, 2 seconds? They have a beautiful brush tip on them and they are ready to use. That's why I said these are highly recommended. Look at that. The ink comes out so nice and clean. Just looks amazing. And I like to use Q-tips to help blend stuff. So for this, I'm just going to use a big Q-tip. I know some people use their fingers. I don't like having my fingers covered in paint, so I'm just using, this is just a regular Q-tip. Like there is literally nothing fancy about it, but look how nicely it blended that paint. The sun is starting to look really awesome. There's also these pointy tip Q-tips. I don't know if people put these in their ears. I don't think I would, but maybe there's a reason why people have them pointy. I only buy them as an art supply. Maybe that's the main purpose. I'm not really sure, but I discovered them one day and I've been using them with my art ever since. And they're really great. Like if you have lines, like maybe you went too far and you need to clean it up, this will do it. If you need to spread a jelly roll, so like you put jelly roll ink down and you actually want to spread it out, this will help. You just have to move quickly because the paint pens dry very, very fast. The way to make something look bright and sunny is to have something dark behind it. So, I mean, it's not the only way, obviously, but it's gonna make it pop more. And silly me, I forgot to color the background sky before I did this tutorial to show you what that looks like. So I am just gonna grab a marker, even though I'm gonna break all the rules because you're not supposed to put anything on the page after you use the paint markers. I'm gonna just break the rules just so that you can at least see the contrast part of this, and if it doesn't work, then you can all just laugh at me. Okay, so now what I wanna do is take that acrylic paint marker. I always shake them right before. I probably don't need to do that. Once is probably good enough, but never hurts to be thorough. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna just start creating the lines. And then we're gonna take this Artistro and we're gonna start creating a glowy edge around. Next, I want to take this paint marker one more time. I'm just going to amp up that yellow a little bit more because I really want that to stand out. And then I'm also going to take this Jelly Roll Bowl 10 and I'm just going to add some of that. And that's it. There we go. We just created these beautiful little sun rays that come across this cloud and onto this little grassy scene. And that is how you do sun pops. So if you want to do anything like this, hopefully this tutorial has helped you and you're able to do some really cool, fun sun stuff on your page as well. If you like my video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one.